Welcome to the Conscious Hustler podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Hardin. I know being a leader takes stamina and constant self-reflection. In my double-decade career, I've gone from intern to CEO, launching hundreds of creator campaigns for Fortune 500 brands and building new businesses for creators to grow and scale. Along the way, I have met some of the most interesting people working behind the scenes who have pursued excellence in work and embraced personal growth as mindful leaders. This podcast is dedicated to lifting the veil on successful creative professionals, their mindset, their motivation, and their heart posture. Together in each episode, we will explore the tools you need to not only thrive in your business, but also nurture your soul. My intention is to help you confidently own your work and affirm your experience. If you like what you hear, don't forget to share this podcast episode with a friend, with a neighbor, with a coworker, and subscribe to our channel. Okay, let's get started. All right, man. This is a long time coming. I am super excited that I'm launching this podcast because it's something that has been sitting in my spirit for quite a while, and I've been taking some shots at it over the years. And, as I'm on this precipice of a birthday, I'm like, you know what? We're going to do it, imperfect. We're going to do it with flaws. We're going to do it regardless because, this is an idea that's just sat in my spirit for way too long. And there's so many stories and people and ideas that I think people that have been interested or curious about my career, about my life, you're going to hear from some dope people, people that are very close to me, but then also people that I don't know well, but admire from afar that I think have an incredible journey. And so I wanted to do this podcast without all of the production elements, without all of the things. I wanted to just get this idea off because I know what it is to procrastinate on ideas and procrastinate on execution because it's not perfect. I mean, hello, I'm a Virgo. I know these things. So hopefully, you guys can feel my heart, feel my intention, and are down for the ride. So for this episode, this is about a little getting to know you episode. It is not lost on me that I'm launching something that may not make sense for a lot of people, especially because the title is called Conscious Hustler. And so there may be some questions about what does that mean? And I want to answer that. I started this idea of being a conscious hustler years ago when I realized that was what I was. It was something that I felt really strongly about because I had been through this wellness journey and this self-improvement and self-development journey, but I was not, all woo-woo with it. I was like, I'm still a high performer and I still enjoy that. I still enjoy being what most people have called me in my career, a hustler. And I've also learned and evolved over time, be in that, but also grow consciously, grow mindfully, so that my hustling has nothing to do with being in the no sleep gang, because I'm definitely in the sleep gang, but it has more to do with how do I also grow as a leader and grow as a mindful leader and take care of myself, take care of my nervous system, my heart, my mind, and have a low tolerance for laziness and a low tolerance for nonsense as a high performer, and letting those things meet in the middle with empathy and compassion. And so that turned into sort of a side project from my agency work where I work with brands on their creator campaigns so that I could, do a little coaching on the side and really lean into finding people like me that were doing the damn thing in work and life, and also like knew themselves, felt anchored in spirit, felt anchored in their vision for themselves. And I really appreciate meeting those people because that's what tends to happen when you are in a new vibration. When you're operating on a high vibration, you tend to run into people like you and run into light beings. And so that was really important for me to find those folks amongst my work community, amongst my fellow executives and professionals. And I did. And so it got me curious about learning more about their stories and also helping people who may not be there yet or in transition to help coach them and lead them in spaces where they too could really just own the parts of their journey that might have some shadow sides and confusion attached to it, but ultimately, leads them to be a better human and a better observer of themselves and how they relate to others. So that's where Conscious Hustler really came from. It came from being in cultures where, and work cultures where I had to hustle, and realizing like there is there's a definite finite energy that hustling requires, and how to layer, a consciousness, a high vibration mindset on top of that, so that I'm moving in the right direction. And in doing that, it created sort of a filter for how I was perceiving the world, and with whom I would do things with or not do things with, what clients I would even take versus which ones I wouldn't. So Conscious Hustler is a huge aspect of how I show up in the world and how I tend to identify others who are like-minded in that way. So that's what being a conscious hustler is. In these podcast episodes, you're going to find different people, from artists to creatives to entrepreneurs to SVPs of companies and everything in between. You're going to find a little bit of familiarity in those stories when they talk about some of their challenges, some of their ways that they've been able to succeed. And it's really exciting because bringing this to life and bringing my network along with me, it just gives me goosebumps because I love people so much. I love people so much, and I'm super curious about how we can grow together. There was a bunch of questions that my team had given me to answer, but the main thing that I want people to take away when they're listening to these episodes is, in the story that you're listening to, doing some deep work, some journaling, some thinking about how you are today versus who you were, and finding some gratitude for that. And then also thinking about who you're showing up to be in the next version of you and what that would require. There's this framework called be, do, have. And if you think of it like a pyramid or a triangle cut into threes at the base, most people think that's where have should be. And it's really where the be should be. Because if you are, who you want to be, then you'll do the things that connote and that are in alignment with who you want to be. And therefore, you'll have the things that a person that does those things, that is those things, has. So, for instance, for me, I want to be a podcast personality and talent. Well, I got to do a podcast, right? Like I got to be that person so I can have that thing, which means I have to do the things that are required in order for me to be that. And so every episode, I hope you're thinking about that be, do, have framework, so that you can also, reminisce on who you were, and then who you are today, and who you're striving to be, because you're it right now, and everything that you do is what's going to give you what you want, or that person in the future has. I hope that all makes sense, but the essence of it is be, do, have. Understand who you are, who you want to be, do the things that requires, and then you'll have all of the things that you will need. And so that's what I want people to be thinking about when they're listening in. And I think that the last bit I'll say is my birthday wish. I'm launching this in September around my birthday, and my birthday wish is for me to get all of the likes and subscribes. I'm gunning for at least 100. Let's see if we can get up to 100 as this comes out. But I'm really excited to just be in the journey. And my wish is to continue to live in this space of excitement for doing a new thing. And like Brene Brown says, it's my effing first time. So I'm here to give myself grace in the flaws, in the mistakes that I inevitably will make in building something new in media. But ultimately, I hope you guys just enjoy the episodes. Let it speak to your soul. I hope you send them to friends. I hope you just enjoy that it can speak to both your soul, but also your business mind, your hustler mind, and hopefully get inspired to action around the things that you've been wanting to do and may have been holding off for a little bit. Let this episode be one of those reminders to just, do it flawed, do it imperfect, do it broken, do it scared, but keep going towards what you want to do and want to see out in the world. We need you. And, guys, I'm excited for the journey. I hope you are too. We're going to drop episodes bi-weekly and be consistent about it. Season 1 is chock full of dope people, and season 2 will be out in the new year. But this is going to be super fun, y'all. Super fun. So thank you so much for just enjoying the time that we have together. And I will be in your ear, giving you gems, dropping gems, listening in on these other conversations with some of the dopest people in entertainment, media, business, advertising, all of that. And I hope you enjoy. Feel free to DM me, send me a LinkedIn note, because I'll be dropping these there as well. So hopefully we can make this a two-way dialogue. That would be amazing. All right, y'all. Enjoy the rest of the season and, link up with me on the internet. Talk to you soon. Okay, that's it. Thank you for listening to the Conscious Hustler podcast. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe to this channel and feel free to reach out. I would love to hear from you. You can do so on LinkedIn or on Instagram. Just send me a DM. But until next time, keep listening, keep reaching out. We are in this together. And I hope you have a great rest of your week.